Hey everyone! Hello, hello! Thank you so much for joining me today for another wonderful episode about tea. So today I have my messy desk here, but I have a really fun tea to share with you called Sweet Peach White Tea. And it has actual pieces of fruit in it, but if you've ever seen any of my videos where I'm teaching you how to blend with tea or the concepts behind blending with tea, you'll notice on the ingredients, it actually doesn't have peaches in it. It has papaya pieces. So that's very, very interesting. Okay, so this has got white tea, papaya pieces, natural flavoring, so peach flavoring. So there is, like, if you're allergic to peaches, you should not drink this. It's got safflower and sunflower petals, and you can see them in this beautiful, beautiful, technically a tisane, because it's not a pure white tea. So I got my water going on the kettle. Hello, Lisa. Thanks for joining. Hey, Heather. Hey, Sharon. Hello, everyone who's watching right now. Nina. Any of you who are watching, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from, and if you're enjoying a cup of tea, what kind of tea are you having today? This time of hour, whether you are in the UK, whether you're in Australia, or whether you're here locally, around the world, wherever you are, thank you so much for joining me today on learning about our sweet peach white tea. So, how many of you actually have tried this? Put a hands up, say me, if I've already tried this, and let me know what you think about this tisane. Because remember, it's not a pure tea. So this is not a pure tea, so it does not have straight Camellia sinensis plant in there. It does have white tea in it, so yes, it will have some caffeine in it. And if you've taken my classes before, I teach about caffeine and how you can't 100% get all of the caffeine out of the tea plant. You can decaffeinate it, but that usually means 2% or less. So there is some caffeine even in decaffeinated teas. But for this tea, there actually are fruit pieces that are pretty fun to eat after you've steeped it for this tea blend, but at the same time, it's not actually peaches. Can you believe it? So if you've taken any of my tea blending courses or classes or part of the university portal, the university program, and you're a member of it, you get to learn firsthand actually how to create your own blend and the food science behind that. And so part of it has to do with pairing and melding of flavors. But this is just a really fun tea, especially for the summertime, especially as an iced tea. So I have my iced tea bottle ready right here. I got the bottom part off. So even though I drink out of here, I'm actually not going to put my tea leaves in here. I have a special compartment on the bottom that's going to have the basket. But because it's glass and I just want to be careful with it, I'm actually not going to make the hot tea in here. I'm going to make the hot tea actually in my little glass teapot over here. Okay? And you'll notice I don't have a strainer. And I kind of did that on purpose. I don't have a strainer in there. I'm going to put about, this is probably about 16 ounces. So you either want to double the strength of your tea and then dilute it so it equals the same volume, or you want to steep it twice as long. Well, I'm just starting to get water going right now, so I'm going to use twice as many tea leaves. So if this is about 16 ounces, maybe 10 ounces, oh, the box is. I'm gonna guess it's 1.5 servings. So I'm gonna take out my calculator, and 1.5 servings at 2.5 grams. Oops! Oh my goodness, that math is definitely wrong. 1.5 servings times 2.5 grams, which is a serving, Normally, according to this, it's 3.75 grams. But I'm going to make it twice as strong so I can steep it faster because I'm going to dilute it. Okay, I'm going to dilute it with my ice. And I don't have like an ice maker or anything like that, so I actually like pre-put the ice into cups for myself. Okay, so I'm going to tare my gram scale here, and I'm going to do 7.5 grams. And you'll notice it's super duper fluffy, right? Super duper fluffy. Oh, Heather hasn't tried this yet. Hello from North Pole, Alaska. Thank you so much for joining us from North Pole, Alaska and Fairbanks, Alaska. So 7.5 grams is what I'm gonna weigh out. And this teapot, I took the infuser out because my my iced tea bottle actually has a strainer in it. Oh, there's huge chunk of papaya. Okay. You're like, oh my gosh, she's putting in so much tea in here. It's actually really fluffy. So there I go. Look how full this is. It's volume, right? Not weight. So the other thing is it used up quite a bit of the bag. And I can re-steep it, so don't worry. I always re-steep my tea. I'm not going to waste that good tea. But you're like, how is that gonna fit in this tiny strainer? Well, that's why I put it in a bigger glass teapot, because it's kind of gonna do the opposite. Because the white tea is really fluffy, it's not going to unfurl and get bigger. It's actually gonna kind of shrink and help me get it into the small parts right there. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill up my iced tea container with some ice. Okay. And some of my ice chunks are way too big, so it's not gonna work. That's why I got 2 cups of ice. I like recycling everything. All the plastic cups I have, I just wash them and reuse them again. Oh yeah, if you have any questions at all, make sure you write me your questions so I know. Because I know my ice is gonna melt once the hot tea gets in there. What kind of fun recipes are you guys making with tea this summer? Does anyone have anything they want to share? I think, oh, you know what? Maybe this is big enough. Maybe I should have put this chunk in there. That could have been big enough. I think it's not going to work, but anyways, it's mostly filled up, and I'm going to put my basket in here, so when I steep my tea leaves in a larger vessel and pour it in, my tea actually is all going to end up shrinking and fitting in here. It's just way too fluffy right now. All right, so be careful with that. Get my water steeping in my other glass. What? Now, you always want to be careful when you're using glass. You know, you definitely want to use borosilicate glass. So borosilicate glass is the type of glass that Pyrex is made out of, but it is not indestructible. It is still glass. So when you have borosilicate glass, even shocking it, you do need to be a little bit careful, that's all I'm saying. But it's going to be hot tea steeping in here. Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes. And you can see the beautiful agony of the leaves. Nice and peachy looking. There's actually a little peach. Oh, it's not peach, but, you know, it reminds me of peaches. Papaya on the bottom here. It's going to sink. It's not going to really open up, but it's infusing. You can see the hot water, like, releasing its essence. So you want to definitely leave a lid on it so it keeps all that aroma in there. It does smell really peachy, though. Oh, you love it hot? Oh, okay. So, yeah, Heather says she really likes this hot. So this is just one that's like really festive for the summertime. And you could, if you wanted to, and you had fresh peaches, you could always, instead of like using, like you have fresh peaches at home and they're about to go a little past, you know, a little too ripe, you can slice up those peaches, put them in the freezer. Now you've got frozen pieces of peaches that now when it rethaws, the water that crystallized within the peach is going to break it apart really easily. That's why when you have like frozen strawberries or blueberries, it kind of turn to mush. But when you're making iced tea, it's actually an advantage. So if you have some ripe peaches or ones that are about to get too ripe, slice them up, stick them in your freezer, and use those as your chunks of ice cubes. Isn't that an awesome idea? And then when you put it in here, it's going to be even more peachy, but from real peach pieces this time. So I'm just almost done. I'm making it super strong. That's why it looks so dark, because it's super strong right now. I put twice as much that I was supposed to put in to make this, because I don't want to wait forever. So I just didn't want you to have to chit chat about tea. But this is a pretty cool iced tea maker, and it's pretty cool that it's got this nice gasket on it too, so it helps seal the bottom and keep it tight so you're not leaking out tea out of the bottom of it, but then you can drink it out of the top. Alexa, stop. All right, let's see how it does. So you see how I use my strainer on the bottom to catch any tea leaves? Oh, actually, I guess I didn't really need to put... Oh, my tea leaves are still trapped in here. Ooh, and I can make another cup of iced tea. Well, there you go. Beautiful peachy color. Just tight all the way there. Now I've got it nice and iced. All the ice floated right to the top. I just want to be careful when I'm shaking it. It does have a gasket even in the lid too for the iced tea bottles. Pretty tight. You can okay. Has a really nice sealed silicone gasket on the top too, so it doesn't leak on the top. So peachy. I know. Isn't it so strange how something that's not peaches can make it taste peachy? Or give you the psychological factor that it is peaches. I mean, there is peach flavoring in here, and with mixture of papaya too. But this is definitely a tea that you can see. In fact, I'm going to make a tiny bit right now with it here. Let's see. I can pour it over my small chunk of ice. It just makes so much tea. Really, it does. Or tisane, because it's not 100% tea. And I have that gigantic chunk of ice. Look, like, it's still nice and peachy color too. This is a great way to stay hydrated. You don't even need any sugar added to it because it just tastes naturally sweet from its own flavoring. Hey Misty, thanks for joining us on YouTube. So yeah, this is a great way to enjoy your sweet peach white tea. Remember, you might be kind of like blown away that the pieces of fruit in there were not actually peaches, but it's the pairing. It's what the essence of that flavoring reminds you of. So you might run into that in other different tea blends that you discover, especially fruit ones, because they're not always off of whatever that fruit flavored tea is. And it's kind of weird, but that's the same reason why we do not create an Alaskan blueberry tea, because the skin, the peel, eating it, ingesting it, actually is what releases the flavor. So when you steep the blueberries, it's not going to taste like blueberries. So a lot of times, a blueberry tea will actually have no blueberries in it, but have blueberry flavoring in it instead. Or blueberry, natural flavoring or artificial flavoring. But always, when something has natural flavoring in it, the flavor just lingers a lot longer. And not only that, you could definitely re-steep it. There's a noticeable difference of artificial, which is an abrupt stop. Like, you're drinking it, you're enjoying it, just like, the flavor just ended. It didn't hang around. But when you try the sweet peach white tea, man, I feel like I can just breathe this fruitiness, right? And so when you see other fruit flavored teas out there, or fruit blends, or whatever it is, check out what the ingredients are. You might be kind of surprised that it's the other fruit flavors that bring out more of that essence, that exact flavoring that you're looking for in a peach or in a blueberry. Well, I hope you stay hydrated. Enjoy your sweet peach tea, whether it's going to be iced or hot. And let me know if there's any other topics you want me to cover, you want me to teach about. But thank you so much for joining me on another fun episode about tea.